Welcome back to the Ethan Clerc podcast show. It is a great night to be podcasting. We haven't been on for 2 weeks because we're in Colorado, and then we got back, and just a busy week, so it's good to be back here podcasting. We have a great guest on tonight. Before we get to that, everyone watching, if you just share, retweet, comment, like, subscribe, pretty much anything else to get the podcast out there. You know the usual lingo. Great to have you back on. Mason Leopold, thanks for coming back out. Detective Neffson will call you after the last video.
You bet.
Good to have you. What have you been up to lately?
Just working.
Working? Where you been working?
Painting.
Painting houses, painting everything, painting barns?
Yep.
Jeez, a little bit of everything. Also on the podcast, the man who's been missing for 4 weeks now.
It's been a while.
Been a while.
The man who never talks.
The man Hey, we're going to change that tonight, I hope, right?
Yep.
Colin Clerc. And
good to be back.
Good to have you. Good to have you. You were in Minot, North Dakota.
Yep.
Why don't you tell people what you're doing up there?
State Fair is going on this week, and was up there seeing some concerts and having a good time with my girlfriend and some of my buddies.
Dill and Tylen up there. And
yeah.
Megan.
Great time.
The man of the night came a long ways after a long day of work, I'm assuming.
It was a decent day of work.
It was a decent day of work. Came a long ways. Lee Holt, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's great to have you here. And for everybody that is listening now, Lee is actually a graduate of Wyndham, and you said 2012?
Yep, 2012.
I don't want to talk too much about you. Why don't I let you do the introducing? So kind of talk a little bit about your background and you know where you are now, because you graduated from Wyndham and you're obviously not living here anymore. So kind of what you're doing now and where you're headed.
Oh, right now, well, I'll go through a synopsis, I guess, from when I graduated high school, I guess. So graduated in 2012, and then I took my talents to Marshall. You're supposed to laugh.
Did you play sports at Marshall?
I tried out for the team.
Oh.
I tried out, and I practiced with them once, and then I was going to lift weights with them the next day, and the coach called me up and met with him in his office, and he just couldn't give me a straight up, like, it's not going to work, Lee.
He just couldn't say it.
He couldn't.
Was that basketball?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, my gosh.
But
a star in Wyndham.
I know, right? No. The way I looked at it was a win-win. It was like, I either make the team and I'm part of the team and I'm playing basketball, or I get to focus on what's next.
Oh, yeah.
So.
And what was next? Because I don't even know what you went for college.
Yeah, business management.
Business management, okay.
Business management, yeah. So I was kind of just messing around. And then I was hanging out with a buddy up at Alexandria, and he told me about a business club called Enactus.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Kyle is in that too.
Yes, he is.
Everyone who does it. Kyle Antes has been on here a couple times. He's been a big part of that. So
yeah.
I've heard only good things about it, and I wish it was something that I could have been a part of, but my college didn't have that in Columbia. So
yeah, I know. It's something where like creatives and stuff and people that work on projects can really succeed in kind of showcase their talents.
Huh. And so that was a big part of just your career in college. And
basically I pushed school off to the side and just did Enactus.
Really?
I did my best, I guess.
Yeah. Well, and then you ended up graduating and coming out to do. What are you doing right now? You talked about it before, but for people who don't know.
I work for Schwann's right now, just a route sales representative. I got side projects that I'm working on, kind of like similar to something like this.
Yeah.
I was excited when you. Actually, I kind of brought it up on your radar.
It was kind of I think we were thinking of each other because I've known about you and what you've been doing for a while now, like the YouTube channel, right, and stuff like that. And I heard about it and I've seen the stuff. I'm like, I got to put this guy on my list of people to get on the podcast. And then at that time, you contacted me and said, hey, if you ever need anybody to come on, I'm the guy, whatever. I'm like, perfect. And then lined it up, worked out. So it's great to have you. Now, you're probably not planning on doing Schwann's for the rest of your life, are you?
No, I'm not.
You probably got other goals and ambitions. So
I do.
What is some of the other things that you want to do here, kind of get accomplished while you're on this short term on the earth?
Short term? Yeah, short term while I'm here in this thing we call life.
Exactly, yep. Little Prince.
Right now, I just want to inspire people to start going after like dreams and stuff. I want to create like a strategy where they can actually take strides in the right direction. So right now it's just been a lot of like learning about myself, because you have to get that result yourself first.
Oh yeah.
Before you can start sharing it and helping other people. So I guess right now I'll talk a little bit about that strategy. It's kind of a 3-pillar strategy. You have your money machine, you have your dreams, and then you have your job, right? The money machine right now for me is investing in EFTs, which is basically their stock portfolios.
Oh, gotcha.
Kind of low risk.
Mm-hmm.
It's a way for you to purchase, like buy $50 worth of something, and you get a little piece of all the companies that are all the large companies in the stock market.
Is it kind of like an app, or is it something you go on the computer, you have to log in, or how does that kind of work? Because I'm not really, I don't know too much about that, how that all goes down.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different apps. I actually started on a smaller like app, Stash. I don't know if you've heard about it.
It sounds familiar. I don't know if I've ever.
Familiar.
Yeah, I don't know if I've never used it for sure, but it sounds familiar.
Yeah, so I started off on that just to get my feet wet. And then right now it's Merrill Lynch. I've got a buddy up in the cities that his dad started a wealth management company.
Oh, really?
Matala Wealth Management. So
wow.
He educates me.
Kind of like free schooling or something?
Yeah, free schooling.
That's awesome. So is that kind of your goal then, is to take the money you invest and use it into things that you kind of are dreaming about or new ideas? It's not really something where you have to work full time, or is that how do you use the investing to kind of do what the things you want to do in life, I guess, for people who want to know that?
Yeah. So the money machine is based on Tony Robbins' Money Master the Game.
Yep.
I don't know if you've ever heard of that.
Great guy. Some real good speeches. I've seen stuff on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the whole goal is with the money machine is to build up enough money, like in stocks and investments, where it's making enough money to where you don't have to have a job.
Oh yeah.
Now the second part with the dreams, I'll kind of go through the kind of the cash flow.
Yeah.
With the three different pillars. The third pillar, your job, funnels money into your first pillar and your second pillar, right? So the money machine is always growing, and your dreams are always growing. Well, eventually you get to a point to where your dreams are making you money, right? Now you can either funnel that back into your dreams, or you can funnel it into your money machine.
Oh, that's smart, yeah.
Now the ultimate goal is to eventually grow your dreams to where you can get rid of that job and you have two pillars. It's your money machine and your dreams.
Just the investing in what you want to do. Wow.
Exactly.
So is that kind of what your YouTube channel is about then? Just telling people about that, and then also doing fun stuff, or?
So my YouTube channel is more of me just kind of doing the things that inspire me. Okay. So like music, car projects with my brother, wakeboarding, just kind of I can go down another rabbit hole. You want me to go down another rabbit hole? Another rabbit hole?
Yeah, go down another rabbit hole.
Okay. Are you guys familiar with Myers-Briggs personality assessment?
No.
No. Strengths finders?
No.
No? Okay.
Are these websites, or what are they?
They're personality assessments just to learn about how you perceive things.
Oh, okay. No, I've never heard of it.
Okay. So the Myers-Briggs is a 4-letter system. I won't go through all of them. I'm personally an INFJ, so introverted, intuitive, INF, feeler, and then judger. Now, I can just learn a lot about myself. What areas are my strengths, my weaknesses.
Huh.
So then if people ever tell me, like, hey, Lee, this is your weakness, and I'm like, yeah. Like, I don't focus on my weaknesses. I focus on my strengths.
So is it kind of like a test? You go online, you answer a bunch of questions, and that gives you the 4 letters that you are?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep.
What is this called? I'm going to have to look this up.
Myers-Briggs.
Myers-Briggs. Everyone who's watching, check this thing out. It sounds actually really interesting. And you probably learn, like you said, a lot about yourself, which will help you in the long run because you know your weaknesses. You know how you can build that up and then get rid of those weaknesses, hopefully.
Yes.
I'm guessing that's kind of what you use.
Yeah, I try to just not focus on my weaknesses. I think in the United States, there's a lot of emphasis on your weaknesses and building your weaknesses.
Oh yeah.
Go all in on your strengths.
All your strengths.
Go all in on your strengths.
That's good.
Which I guess leads me into the strengths finders. That's just kind of another assessment. I think there's maybe 36 different strengths, and there could be more. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Strengths Finders allows you to kind of lay out what it is that makes you you. So like my number one strength is connectedness. I understand kind of how everything works together. And then my next strength, I think, is adaptability. Just very adaptable. I can kind of pick up on things quickly. I think that just kind of goes hand in hand with connectedness.
Oh, yeah.
And then responsibility. Whenever I'm a part of something, I naturally take the responsibility what I see is going wrong and I want to fix it. Relator has to do with relationships, being able to like relate to people, understand them. And let's see if I can remember the last one. It gives you 5.
Oh, 5 of them?
Gives you 5 strengths.
Huh.
Now, what I've learned from the Myers-Briggs and the Strengths Finders is I like to get just as good as about everybody else, and just a little bit better at something, and then I get bored with it and I move on to something else.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's how a lot of people are.
Oh, big time, yeah.
So that's kind of what my YouTube channel is.
Yeah. All the things that you kind of were working on, and then you get good at it, and then you're like, all right, next
I saw
thing.
you guys made a video. I don't know if you posted on YouTube, but on Facebook, of you, what was it, filming yourself wakeboarding on a tube.
You're really good at that.
Oh
Did Kyle Antes help you with that? Was it?
Kyle.
Yeah.
Was it a backflip or something? I think I saw that too.
There was a backflip one. We weren't pulling the tube behind though when I did the backflip.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, Kyle, we put Kyle on the tube.
Did you put that on YouTube too, or did you just put that on Facebook?
I haven't yet. That was just on Facebook.
You can make a cool. Do you have a drone?
I do have a drone.
There you go.
Get the YouTube videos going, Lee. I think you can make some sweet stuff.
I know. Well, right now it's just I spend so much time working. Yeah. I got long hours. But my weekends I go hard.
Try to get stuff done.
Yep.
Would you ever get to the point? I know this is something you talked about, but would you just say, even if the money's not coming back from the investing right away, would you just say, I'm going to quit the job, I'm going to spend all my time just working on stuff that I want to do, and hopefully I'm just going all in on it, and if it doesn't make money, I'm going to have to fall back on the job, but at least I tried my hardest?
I've done that before.
You've done it before?
I've done that before. And, well, let's see. It would have been my junior year of college. Enactus, we had some great success in Enactus. It's a global club. You have national competition, and we went to national competition. There's 518 teams in the U.S.
Jeez.
And it's not like there's D1, D2, D3.
Yeah.
You're going against the La Sierra.
Oh my gosh.
The best of the best.
The best of the best.
Dang.
And
how'd you guys end up doing then?
My first year, we placed top 8.
Holy cow.
Top
in
8.
The world.
In the U.S.
In the U.S.
In the U.S.
Well, that's 518.
Yeah, that's still,
teams,
that's
Who
crazy.
was first, do you remember? Like
Harvard or something.
It was
probably Duke.
BYU Hawaii.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dang.
Yep.
Was like
crazy.
Harvard and them up there too?
I didn't see Harvard. I can't really remember.
Some Ivy League schools got to be up there.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Yep.
put all their time and money into that, whatever. But
you got those big schools, then Marshall, Minnesota.
Yeah, that's
right?
awesome, though. That's crazy.
Schwann's was there. They were cheering us on.
Really?
No way.
It was awesome.
That's cool. So, like you were saying, you tried it before, and what was the result?
So yeah, with Enactus, we just had that business experience. Me and my buddies. So we were like, all right, let's start a company. Actually, we first started. I was like, I'll start a company. You start a company, and I was gonna do mowing.
Oh,
and,
really?
I didn't get very far with that. He started a marketing and advertising company, and I was like, I think you need a little help.
I'm going to jump in.
Right. I played a pretty key role in getting our first few clients on retainer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I kind of jumped into things. We got some clients, and then school started, and it was like, all right, we got to pump the brakes a little bit and kind of make sure that this is manageable. So,
do you think that college killed it, or what is your opinion on college? Because a lot of people have mixed opinions. I know I have my opinions on college. How was your college experience, or is it worth people's time to go to college nowadays?
It really depends. It really depends. If you have a good idea of what you want to be doing, just jump into it. Just jump into it and do it. College is a great place for you to learn a lot about yourself and to be in different situations.
Get away from home.
Yep. But yeah, I don't know. College, I don't think is a necessity, but you learn a lot.
Looking back, do you have any regrets, or is it?
No, the people that I've met, the people that I know,
made some great connections.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yep.
And you got to be part of that business program.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Got to travel a lot with
Do you have to go to college to be in that, or can you join the program outside? Like if somebody your age is just in Marshall.
You have to be a student.
You have to be a student.
Yep.
Interesting. I think they should open that up to everybody. I think that'd be something that could benefit anybody who's interested in business, not just people that are going to college. But I'm sure there's certain things that get in the way of that.
Yeah, you could probably reach out to a local Enactus team and work with them. We worked with we had a business consulting program. So
okay.
we worked with a niche clothing company, So Wearable Designs, out of Appleton, Minnesota.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they were struggling. They were struggling.
Oh, really?
And now they moved across the street into a big warehouse.
Wow. You guys helped them boost sales and
around.
stuff? Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
What are some of the techniques that you guys use for that then?
It's conducting needs assessments, just trying to understand what the actual issue is. And needs assessment is so general.
Mm-hmm.
I guess my experience, I went into Enactus. My best friend was the president. He was like, Lee, you're going to be a project leader. I was like, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's awesome, yeah.
And he elected me the project leader of Green Step Committee, which was basically I was tasked with I was supposed to find opportunities to improve environmentally.
Oh, okay.
Environmentally. So I was the only one that didn't have school that Friday. And there was a solid waste assessment training in Granite Falls.
Ooh.
So I was like, okay, I'll do it. Fine.
Solid waste?
Yeah,
oh.
Right? So we go to this.
Mason's dealt with a little bit of that.
Mason, any comments?
Kind of gross.
Painting.
Yeah, painting. Nothing to say. Anyway, continue with the story.
But yeah, we just learned how to gather the material, weigh it, separate it, it, and just analyze the data. So we came back and did some waste assessments in some schools and found that composting was a huge need. So we pursued that and applied for, I think, a $1.5 million grant.
Oh my gosh.
Met one of my biggest mentors, Max Milinkovic. He'd be really cool to have on this.
Oh,
he'd be amazing.
from Marshall?
He's actually up in the Brainerd area now.
Oh, really?
He is, yeah.
That'd be a tough one to get down. He is a teacher, or he
started a multi-million-dollar composting company.
Oh my gosh.
We called him up, and because we were like, okay, composting's a huge issue. We need to talk to some experts. Don't be the expert.
Oh yeah.
Just go talk to them.
Exactly. Yeah. Don't try to know everything or whatever.
Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, we met him, and it was hilarious.
Oh my gosh! Well, speaking of starting companies, I noticed the tattoo, the hat, and I've heard a little bit about it. Yep. The Roy talk to people about that because I don't even know too much about it.
Yeah, so I started Roy actually. Probably going down another rabbit hole here. When I started that marketing and advertising company with my buddy, we were having success, and we're like, oh, we need to partner with people. Don't partner with people. Don't do it. Work with them, and if you're working with them and it's going well, then think about it.
Is the partnering bringing money in? Is that what you're talking about? Like sharing profits?
We were partnering with talent.
Okay.
So Aaron was more of like the sales and the creation. I was more of like, okay, well, if we want this to work, we're going to need to get clients on retainer. Here's how I think we could do it. So more like the vision behind it.
Oh, gotcha. Yep.
So we got clients on retainer, and we were serving them. They were getting value. Because usually when people get value, they pay you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They pay you.
Yeah.
So we had clients on retainer, and the two talented people who they're amazing people. I won't say anything bad about them because they're great people. It's just we didn't line up.
Work
we
out.
just didn't line up.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, I can recognize that now sooner in a lot of things. So I don't.
Took you a while to realize that. Yeah.
Where were we going again?
I think we're talking about the people, the talent.
Oh yeah.
For your company.
Yep. So it would have been better if we just worked with them.
More like a freelance type thing.
More of a freelance
instead
and stuff.
of trying to get him on board with the company.
Exactly. So my kind of talent and what I brought to the table, you don't really see it. I'm just like that different perspective and like that strategy and stuff, and they didn't understand it. So I was in meetings where I was the only one in the room where people were like, Lee, I don't know why you're here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Jeez.
And I was like meeting after meeting, like, Lee, why are you here? And I'm like, well, screw you guys. Like, I'm the whole reason why our company is doing, and I think they really, what's the word? They just couldn't understand how we had clients on retainer based on what we were giving them. And they could create stuff that was 10 times better.
Huh. They didn't see your vision, or is
they were independent contractors, and they wanted us to be independent contractors. We were more of like business strategy, and we wanted them to be more business strategy. So we were both putting our self-images on each other.
Yeah. So then that kind of brings it back to the whole company. What is it like? What is it all about? What is it? Because I don't know much about it at all.
Right. So in those meetings, I was like, screw you guys, I'm leaving. I'm out. I'm going to go start my own thing.
Start my own company.
I'm going to go start my own company.
Yep.
And I was just doing some reflecting, and I was like, you know what? Let's start a company called Roy, and it's going to be Rely on Yourself, because you're the only one that can start moving towards your dreams and start making things happen.
Wow.
Does it stand for anything?
Rely on yourself.
Yeah. Rely on yourself.
Yep.
Okay.
Rely on yourself.
And I'm guessing Leroy. Is that
Leroy.
kind of where you got it to?
Yeah. There's stories behind that too.
Down to the rabbit hole,
Yeah.
So what does the tree mean then behind?
The tree it's slow, steady growth.
Okay.
It's every day. You don't see a tree grow, but you put in your work every day. Eventually, you're going to notice. You're going to be like, wow, that tree's.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
That is cool. And so you guys have a website, or where can people check this stuff out?
We do rely-on-yourself.com.
Rely-on-yourself.com.
Yeah.
Merch. People check it out if you're listening.
Link in bio.
Link in bio. I will put a link in there. And I will also, what's the YouTube channel called?
My YouTube channel is In the Life of Leroy.
In the Life of Leroy. I'll put that on there as well. That's cool.
And is your brother helping you with the company then? Or?
I've got Jake. He kind of indirectly helps me. I talk to him all the time. I do have 3 other people. Max Malinkovic, have him on as sales. Aaron Lang, he's who I helped start the marketing company with. And then Ashanti Payne, he's kind of an X factor. He's some young talent that we're trying to groom.
And by talent, you mean like models or?
If he was here, man, he would have a heyday with that.
Oh, really?
he's a football player. He's a running back.
He's
like
your talent.
Is he in college right now?
No, he graduated. He just graduated.
He's going to the NFL.
Going to the NFL.
Hey, that'd be crazy. So you're trying to get him to wear the stuff?
No, he's a grinder. So he just constantly is absorbing information, so reading books and different things like that.
Yep.
And he's not afraid to do stuff. He's not afraid to do anything. So like calling people,
really?
Trying to swing deals.
Oh, wow.
When we all got together and we all kind of agreed upon stuff, within 10 minutes of being like, okay, how are we going to get stuff done for like cheap? He called one person that gave him someone's number, and all of a sudden we had someone in like some other country who was like, yeah, what do you need?
Jeez.
And like it was some
awesome.
other country. Like
he gets stuff done.
Just a doer.
That's
just
crazy.
A straight up doer.
And so what's the future vision for that then? That's a whole nother thing. It's separate. Is this kind of building into the money machine, the dreams and the job? Is it a dream?
So Roy, I guess ultimately the dream, kind of what I've defined that as, is getting paid what you want to be doing. So it would fit in as the dream. The dream, getting paid to do what I want to do. And
would that be something that would be implemented with the YouTube channel as well? To get paid for that? Or is that kind of just a project on the side, hobby?
Are you talking about the YouTube channel?
Yeah, the YouTube channel.
Yeah, it's just kind of a place where I can keep track of my progress, I guess, towards the things that I want to see growing. It's getting clearer and clearer every day. Every time you post a video, you just kind of like, okay, I don't like that, I do like that. This isn't clear.
You learn from it.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the biggest thing, especially something that I'm all about is learning from your mistakes. I know we talked about that a lot when Chant was on here on the podcast, because he's all about grinding and getting work done and stuff. And I think if people want to go out and do something, I think you'd attest to this too. Just go do it.
Yeah.
Learn from your mistakes. And I think that if you keep working hard enough and the passion's there, that the dream and the job and this whole money machine, and you eventually won't have to work a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
You'll be doing what you love. And I think that that's just something that everyone should strive for. But I don't think there's too many people out there that really go for that.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to me like that.
Motivation, yeah. It takes a
People,
lot of motivation.
It's just tough because I think right now in culture and society, everyone thinks that you have to do this path. You have to follow the path that your parents took. And if you don't make them happy, then you're not going to be happy. But you really got to do what you want, before anyone else is going to get happy. You have to make yourself happy.
The path these days is kids that graduate just want to go to college and get
Party.
a degree and
Well, they go to college.
Party and
They go to
drop
college and they don't even know what they want to go to college for. Have you seen that before? Some of
Yeah.
your buddies in college,
Yep.
did they go, not really know what they went? What's something to do? Do you think a gap year is a good thing, or do you think just jumping right in? What's kind of your take on that?
Let's see. I think I'm not the hugest fan of debt.
Yeah. Oh,
I
yeah.
don't think debt is very good at all. I think, like the drinking age is 21 for a reason. You know what I mean? Like, because like you just don't really like know what it's going to be affecting, how it's going to be affecting you.
Oh,
Same
yeah.
thing with like debt. It's like, I don't think people should be getting into debt before a certain age because you
Right,
just don't
yeah.
know.
that's good. I've never.
That
thought
is
of
a
it
good,
that way,
yeah. People don't realize what they're getting themselves into. And that's part of the reason I dropped out of college is because it's just too much money.
Yeah.
And I figured out early on that I can learn a lot of this stuff just by doing it, and I don't have to sit in a classroom and have somebody tell me what to do.
Yeah.
Just figure it out. And I feel like for people who don't know what they want to do, take a year off or take 2 years off. Just wait until you know.
And make money instead
Yeah.
of spending it.
Yeah.
Start working on your money machine.
Exactly. I love the money machine advice, and I need to watch more Tim Robbins because I've seen a couple of the things. But this is a thing we could talk about in the second half. Ty Lopez.
Tyler,
What do
yeah.
you-
No.
What do you think about people who scam, who are using this thing about inspiring people to make money themselves? They're not in it to actually. I think that's what Ty Lopez is.
Yeah, I don't know. I get this weird vibe from Ty Lopez.
Yeah. Gosh, it's all the YouTube.
Weird vibe.
Yeah.
This
I
is
don't
like,
know.
explain it.
Well, it's. You try to explain it to him.
There's one thing I like more than this Lamborghini.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
I've
these
seen
books.
that. Yeah.
Books.
It's like a YouTube ad.
Hey guys, I'm in my garage.
He's the guy with the glasses. Right?
He's always in a mansion, and they've exposed him so many times that he doesn't actually live there. It's like a rented.
I think he's got this like personality though, where like he's just so smart and he just implements stuff so fast.
He's easy to watch too.
that,
Like I could.
you can't really. It's like an Albert Einstein.
Kind of, yeah.
You know, but he's taking advantage of like the internet.
Oh,
videos,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, the younger generation will just watch anything nowadays as long as
Well,
they're inside watching something.
He's like, and then he's like, if you wanna get any more information, just go on my website, and then you have to pay to get more information.
Yeah.
And I don't know what information he's giving out here. What could possibly be?
Hey,
so.
he's
Or like I
he's
got
making a
3
living.
things.
Yeah, 3 things.
3
yeah.
things. And you
Yeah.
go to his website and it's like a 2-hour-long video that gives you nothing, and you're like,
3 things.
Wow.
He's made a lot of money off of it, though.
Oh yeah,
He's made a lot
There's
of money.
a lot of
That's
people
too
falling
bad.
for it.
Oh yeah, big time. And I think he was one of the first people to get into this. Now you see it all the time. Go watch a YouTube video. In the beginning, something will come up with him or somebody talking about a Shopify store where they're like, we can make you millions of dollars by selling these skulls or whatever. And I see these videos. I'm like, oh my gosh.
yeah.
How many people are actually falling for this?
A lot.
A lot of people are
Yeah.
falling for this because these guys are millionaires.
I think
that's what-
I think
I'm sorry.
I think there's some truth in like some of that stuff though, but I think people like that money machine and like the dream,
Yeah.
I think they combine it and they go all in on that, like, okay, I'm gonna make this Shopify site and try to like hit AdWords just ridiculous and like blow up. But they go all in on it. Like when you're going after your dreams and stuff, it's a slow, steady thing. There is no like quick fix.
Don't put all your money into one thing.
Don't
real
put
quick.
all your energy into one thing.
Is that kind of what you think they're promoting? Is to put it all in right away?
I don't know. I think they're just, I don't know. I'm not sure.
It's hard to say. I just had to bring that up because I see these guys.
Yeah.
I see Ty Lopez. I can't even think of some of the other guys that are all on YouTube,
Yeah.
but they're making money off of trying to get people to think that there's some lucrative thing. And there probably is. But not everybody, a majority of people aren't going to be able to get that niche market for the certain thing
Yeah.
and make $1 million off of selling skulls on YouTube or
Yeah.
whatever. Shopify,
Right, yeah.
whatever that is. You know what I mean?
And I think with like Ty is like some of the information that he gives, it's just general information that you can get anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
It's just execution.
Yeah.
It's execution. Like it takes 67 days to create a habit.
Is
It's
it
like-
67 days?
That's what.
Something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what
They say.
Yeah. You know, and it's like, because I did buy his program and stuff.
Oh, really?
I did.
Ty Lopez?
Yeah.
No way.
I did, dude. Like I saw that stuff and
How
I was
much
like,
was it? Like
it was like $600. And then I was like, okay. And then it like slowly gives you like videos and stuff, but you can't watch them till like the next day and stuff. And I was just like, I don't really feel good about this anymore.
I don't know anybody.
So
I don't know anybody that's actually done it.
I downloaded all the videos I could, and I called them up and asked for my money back.
No way. You talked to Ty Lopez.
Not Ty Lopez.
Oh, you talked
did
to one
you
of his
get it?
people?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, that's
I
good.
did.
At least
But
You
yeah,
gotta
like,
pirate that stuff.
I did. I know, right? I think I still have it on my USB.
Oh my gosh. Well, we are going to take a little bit of a break here. We will be back with more Money Machine Dream Talk with Lee Holt, and we have some other crazy stuff to talk about too. We'll be right back.
And we are back to the Ethan Clare Show live here. Not live, but you're going to see it later. With Lee Holt. And I'm going to turn it back over to Ethan.
Thanks, Faith.
Wow. Great to have. Oh, she's wearing the headphones backwards. Great to have Faith Willard on here, big star of the movie. You might want to check it out, Sundog. She left. So.
Where can you see the movie, man?
You can watch the movies on Amazon.
What?
Yeah, and Cottonwood, the most recent movie, who you helped with Cottonwood.
Yep.
You helped with Cottonwood, and Dalton, assistant director, will be on Amazon soon.
He's got the shirt on. One of the Cottonwood
I
police.
saw the shirt.
Cottonwood,
You
please.
can get pirated versions of it though too for free.
Pirated versions.
Hey, you gotta pirate
I'll pay
everything
for
nowadays.
Pirated versions of what?
I'll pay
your
for it.
guys' movie.
How much
Where?
is it?
You're the one that told me about it. It's on like weird websites.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
Footlocker.
Sundog. I thought you were talking about Cottonwood. I'm like, no way. There's people getting that
Sundog.
already. Yeah, there are. This is kind of a funny story, Lee. There are people. You know how they have like the pirated movie websites?
Yep.
Somebody actually took Sundog and pirated the movie off Amazon and put it on one of these websites with Arabic subtitles. So we must be huge in these Arabic countries.
Nice.
That's awesome.
We go over there and visit. Hey,
These guys are famous.
can't catch any slack around here.
That's Ethan Clare.
Jeez. Well, yeah, so like we were saying, thanks everyone for watching the Ethan Clare Podcast Show. We're not even close to being done here. I have to introduce the winner of the $25 Duffy gift card supplied by Jeff LeCan.
Oh, wow.
We had a lot of people share that.
It was up to close to
200 people.
didn't it?
Close to 200 people.
Oh, close. Okay.
Shared this on Facebook. So it was really good idea by Jeff LeCan, and a lot of people, a lot of views on that one. So I have to give Jeff a huge shout out.
We'll have to do that again.
We'll have to get Jeff back on here, and we'll have to definitely throw another gift
Maybe
card.
Lee will buy a gift card.
No, I don't want to make anyone buy a gift card, but
I'll get a gift card.
hey,
I'll do it. I'll do
maybe
whatever it takes.
some Roy merchandise.
All right.
I know that if you want
that'd
to,
be
if you want to
sweet.
throw a hat or something, that'd be crazy. Or we'll pay for it, whatever.
Drum
it is.
roll.
The winner of the $25. All right. You're cutting the audio. The winner of the $25 Duffy gift card is Chris Langland. I don't know who that is. Chris, you the big winner. You going out to dinner?
Yeah, boy,
Duffy's.
Chris.
Take your
I think it's a
girl out
girl
to eat.
actually.
That girl, Chris.
It's spelled like that.
Take your take your man.
And I think it is a girl.
Okay.
I think it's a. Huh?
My uncle's name is Chris and it's spelled like that.
Is
though.
it really?
Yeah.
You have an uncle with the name K?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think it was a lady though, if I remember
Okay.
doing the drawing. Chris, you're the big winner, and we're gonna get you that gift card as soon as possible. Jeff LeCan has it right now. We've been talking about a lot of stuff tonight. We've been talking about money management. We've been talking about the money machine, which is very interesting to me. I want to look more into that. We've been talking about the Myers-Briggs system, the Strength Finders, and we've been talking about your background. But we never got to some of the stuff that when I first asked you about topics, you were talking about the human brain and energy and stuff like that. You want to talk a little bit about that? Get us into that a little bit?
Yeah, sure. I think visualization, really understanding like where you want to move towards, like with your life and stuff, is huge. In terms of energy, there's a book that I listened to called Levels of Energy.
Levels of Energy?
Yeah, I can't remember who wrote it offhand. I don't really pay attention to authors. I just listen to books.
Yeah.
I just listen to books.
Listening to them is better.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
Yeah.
I love listening to books.
Not a big reader.
No, not a big reader.
Me either.
Not a big reader. So let's see. Levels of energy just goes through a scale from I think it's 0 to 1,000, and he goes through the different progress through those energies. So like from 0, actually I think it goes beyond 0 or under
negative
zero.
numbers.
Yeah, negative numbers. Things.
Huh? What's kind of what is it measuring?
Yeah. So basically, kind of your mind state. Where's your mind at?
Interesting.
I think it said like over the course of 2 to 3 days, you average where your state of mind is over the course of 2 to 3 days, and that's what your state is. I think from like the 200 level is like that's when you're transitioning from like a negative to a positive mindset. And then from like 200 to 400 is more of like the business, like that. Because I think you have to go through like a business state in order to basically get your life in order, create, sell, build wealth.
Interesting.
And then the next states are more like blissfulness. And in the higher states, you just attract more of that energy. You attract more of those people. And you're just able to get things done like faster and shift different realities, I guess.
So it's like a state of mind is what it's measuring.
Yep.
Interesting. And how does it measure? How do you measure something like that?
I think the guy that wrote the book, he talks about, I think he was the one that kind of came up with it. I think it was just like a kind of more of like a deep feeling kind of thing. Because he explains how writing different parts of the book, he had to be in different places of the world.
Oh, really?
Because they have different energies.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then he talks about different things that are made and what energies they have. And like Tylenol has a very high energy. And I think it was just because it was made to relieve people from pain. And it had like a really good intention when it was created.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know something that because I watch a lot of Joe Rogan, the podcast. So you know Joe Rogan.
I do.
And they're talking about a lot about these drugs and stuff that can open up parts of your brain that no other person or not very many people get to experience, and you get this whole other feeling and almost changes their whole mindset of everything. Mm-hmm. What do you think about not necessarily using drugs, but about opening up your brain to these parts that, you know, not other people get to experience and changing your whole mindset on something? How does that kind of sound to you, or what do you feel about that?
I definitely think you have to have an open mind about life. I think the more you close your mind, the more like you just don't see opportunities in front of you. Yeah, opening up your mind, I think, is huge. And that's why I think the lower energy, like the turning into positive, a lot of that stuff is in the business, is because 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, seeking to understand. It's one of the habits. A lot of people just don't seek to understand, you know.
Understand other people.
Yeah, understand other people, situations that happen.
Oh, yeah.
You know, a lot of people judge the situation based on their personal view on it, and they don't get all the information.
You said 7 habits?
7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
What are the 7 habits? Or do you not remember them?
I think one's proactive. I think I naturally do a lot of them. Probably not as many as I used to. I can't recall all of them.
Is it a book or is it just
it is a book.
7 Habits.
I think by Stephen Covey.
All right, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
7 Habits. I'll have to write that down. And that kind of takes me into another point that I was kind of thinking about on the way over here, is that everything happens for a reason. No matter who's in your life, no matter what's going on, everything's happening for a reason. If you believe in God or not, I still think that people should think that everything that's coming into your life is happening because of decisions and things you made. People who think that everything's random, nothing has any meaning or anything, just aren't going to get to that point where you're going to be actually happy. When you actually realize that everything's happening, if it's negative or positive, you got to treat it the same way. Yep. And that's a lot of what you've been saying, I feel like, and that could increase energy. You kind of think that that's kind of the same thing?
Yeah.
To look at everything in a positive light.
Yeah. So a situation can happen to you, your car breaks down, right?
Yep.
You know, it could be the worst thing that ever happens to you. You know, you can be sitting there sulking and like, my life sucks. You know, or you could be like, well, this happens. This is fine. Like, I'm going to figure this out. And then, I don't know, someone pulls over and starts helping you. It turns out they're a car dealer and they're a really good car dealer. You make friends with them and he's like, hey, I'll hook you up with a car for a few weeks.
Yeah.
You know, like just like stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, when you're in the right mindset, but you're in the wrong mindset, you're kicking yourself. That guy pulls over and he's like, man, this guy's really just like kicking himself. I'm just gonna leave.
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
Well, let's approach everything with that positive mindset. It'll change your entire life. I think if more people would go into things not being mad and angry and upset about everything, but actually happy and smiling, I think you'd see that your entire life is going to change right in front of your eyes. And I think that's why this whole energy thing was super interesting. When you brought it up to me, I'd never looked into it that much, but I kind of did research, and I'm figuring out about this whole other mindset, and it's super interesting to me.
Yeah.
And I feel like more people should get into that.
Yeah, totally. I was watching one of your podcasts. It was with Jeff LeCan.
Oh yeah.
Yep. You had that drug or whatever.
Flocka.
Yeah.
Oh, Flocka.
He
Yeah.
talks, in the book's Levels of Energy, he talks about drugs.
Oh.
And like cocaine, meth, and they're very low energy.
Oh, really?
Very, very low energy. So you're getting into like I think cocaine was like level 30. And
Dang.
then like meth was level 10.
Wow.
So these are very like negative drugs. So like I was watching the video that you played, and I was like, those people, they're possessed. They're possessed because those people are experiencing a very, very low level energy.
That just changes you into a whole
gosh.
nother creature.
If people haven't seen that video, even if you don't want to watch the podcast, look up Flocka. It's by Band Spice, I think, who's made the video.
How long is the video?
It's like a 7-minute long video or whatever.
You can just watch
Flocka?
just watch clips.
Just watch the podcast.
Yeah, watch the podcast.
Just
It's a
watch
good
the podcast.
podcast, but watch. If this is just unreal to me. When I found out about this, I could not believe that this is an actual real thing. When I first watched it, I'm like, movie trailer. It's a movie trailer.
Oh, it looks like it's nuts.
So
Yeah.
crazy.
They're flying
Really?
across parking lots,
See, there's people running into the back window of a car,
holding
and
on to cars going like 70 miles an hour, flying off.
When you
I'll have
take
to watch
you
that.
take this drug, you are invincible. They shot this guy 7 times, and he kept coming at him, dude.
They're like
Flocka?
zombies.
It's called Flocka, and it's a synthetic drug. And it's when Jeff was talking about it, he compared it to like meth or something like
Is
that.
it a
Hasn't
big
it hit,
problem
like,
nowadays or what?
Huh?
Is it a big problem?
Huge problem.
Isn't
in
it like 7 states or something?
Texas and
Florida.
Illinois had it, and Florida's the big one. Florida's where they're seeing it,
Yeah.
and it's just such a negative. I know Damon was talking about how it's demonic possession.
That's
And
what it looks
Literally.
like.
It looks like demonic possession when these people are literally like ripping their clothes off, running around naked, and killing people, like
Really?
running into buildings as fast as they can. This one guy was running across the parking lot full speed, went through the back window of a car, got up,
And he's
walked
so
away.
fine,
He's
yeah.
still fine.
I've never heard of this.
I didn't know anything about
I didn't
it.
know
Wow.
anything about
I
it either.
saw it on Facebook. I'm like, oh gosh, one of these dumb videos. I don't believe anything. Hey, and then I look it up, and it's a real thing.
It'll
There's
turn anybody into like
a zombie.
even like a
Pretty
good
much.
law-abiding citizen.
Oh,
Say they take
Yes,
this.
Mason, it
Yeah,
messes.
I
That's
don't
any
think a good
drug.
law-abiding citizen would.
Well, I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like anybody that
If
takes
if
it.
you
It
took
takes
it,
control of your body. It like
yeah,
that's crazy.
if you took it, you'd be running around the room eating our flesh, like killing us. Like
if
oh,
he
yeah.
took it, we wouldn't be alive.
It takes the one guy was talking about how it took like a normal sized guy like me. It took like 4 police officers to hold this guy down.
Man.
Wow,
Yeah.
See.
Dalton's like, I gotta get a hold of that.
Yeah. Right.
that's just weird. How, like,
What's so funny, Dalt?
normal sized guy.
Yeah, I'm pretty small.
Normal.
I'm pretty small,
I know,
but
I was like,
crazy.
oh, normal
Jeff was
size
saying
guy.
even though even a small guy, it'd be tough to take down when they're on drugs because their mind. I think Kyle was the one who brought that up too. He's reading a book how people are a lot stronger than they think they are.
Yeah.
And so when you're on this drug, your brain just opens up and you are like 10 times stronger than you
Really?
normally. Oh yeah, yeah. So that's why I'm confused. I guess it has a negative energy,
It's a
but
negative
when you
energy.
think about the energy, they're almost getting more energy, but it's not a good energy.
Yeah.
It's a negative energy, but there's more energy. So it kind of makes me wonder, what's the whole scale of energy? I guess if it's like power energy, or if it's just like what your intentions are. That's kind of my question about it. Is what does the energy mean?
I think. I mean.
Like power energy, like I can lift more weight, or like energy as in I'm doing more bad, or
I think it's like a positive negative scale. It's like, are you creating positive with what you're doing, or are you creating negative?
oh, gotcha.
It's probably all in your head, stuff like that.
It is. It's all.
Yeah.
It's all. This is all psychological. It's all in your brain. None of it has to do with physical. Nothing. It's
Yeah.
all. Anybody can really jump on this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Just gotta be more positive. That's the whole
Yeah.
thing we're talking about.
So how I kind of view people doing like drugs like that is like usually someone that starts doing a drug like that probably isn't loved. They
No.
probably don't have anybody in their life that loves them.
This is
You're in
the
a low
last
spot in life.
dead end.
Exactly. They want to feel something, and since they're so far in that negative spectrum, they're just going to keep going down that because that's the only way that they can feel. Because they got to go so far the other way to.
Another
feel.
thing probably is their job. If they don't like their job, they're not going to be positive.
Well, it could be
at all.
anything. It could be job, divorce. It could be just nothing's working out. Huge thing we're forgetting about is mental illnesses right now in this country are at an all-time high. I mean, the amount of people who are on the list of mental illnesses is just unreal right now.
How many
Depression,
people is it, you know?
it's a huge, I don't know the number for sure. Dalton could try to
millions?
look it up. The amount of people, if you could get internet, someone could look it up on their phone if you can check, Colin.
Is it in the millions?
Oh, easily it's in the millions, dude. Look up on your phone, Colin, how many people in the United States have mental illnesses. That's something I wanted to ask you about, Lee, is people, and this might not be something that you'd even be able to answer. It's a hard question, but people with these mental illnesses, like let's say depression, have a tough time having a positive perspective on anything, really. What do you think? And I've never been diagnosed with depression, so I don't know the feelings or the things that are going through someone with depression's head. What are things that people like that can do to kind of improve their state of mind?
Ethan, it says 43.8 million people in the United States
43.8 million
experience mental illness in a given year.
Wow.
Jeez.
And the population is like what,
330 million or something?
Yeah, so
That's a big
approximately 1 in 5 adults in the United States.
Wow. And that's got to be at an all-time high. I'm pretty sure that's an all-time high.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
What are some things, though, that you think would kind of change someone's mindset? Because I feel like a lot of that, I know that's stuff that people can't help, but I feel like a lot of it can be, like, the level of it can be taken down with certain steps. What do you think about that?
I think like when it comes to depression, and this is like my PhD, everything coming out right here.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
Listen up, people.
Oh, right. It's your brain is wired.
Yep.
Right. And the more it's wired like negative, like it's the highway's wider. I mean, it's like a 30 lane highway, and to get into the other lane of positive, it's like you have a lot of rewiring that you have to do in your brain. At least that's just kind of some of the information that I've come across.
Oh yeah.
So it's really easy for those people to go down that 30 lane highway. So to rewire your brain to go a different direction, it takes a lot of time.
I think another reason that it's at all-time highs because of the growth of technology and social media.
Oh yeah, it seems like
sure.
whatever topic we're talking about, it all comes back to technology and social media.
Yeah.
That's definitely what it is, I think.
Especially the younger generation, people our age who are so, like, they get into this social media bubble where everything has to be this level, and if you're not that, you're bad, you're not good enough for these people. Just such a negative thing that's going on right now. I think that's why depression, especially in like teenage girls right now, is at an all-time high. Just unreal.
And like suicides.
And it's not just social media. It's video games too. Kids sitting at home all day playing video games. Then they're just pissed off because they can't play their video games and they have to go to school.
Well, just getting social interaction. Back to being an important thing.
Yeah,
that's why I love. I mean, the podcast. I love doing it because talking to people, sitting down, getting people's perspectives on things, something I love to do. And I really want to get as many people on here as possible. That's why I appreciate you guys coming on with me as much too. To talk to people because there's not enough people our age that are doing stuff like this where people are actually sitting down and talking about issues that could be tough. Some people might not want to talk about this kind of stuff, but at least we're trying. Even if we don't know much about it, we're trying to figure out issues or like solve problems and stuff like that. And so it's tough for people our age to kind of no, but it's tough for people our age because there's such an immense amount of pressure on them right now to succeed and to be the best and to be the skinniest and to be the best looking, when people need to put that stuff aside.
And post the best pictures.
The most followers.
The most followers.
Yeah.
Get rid of follower counts. That would change so much, I feel like. Because all people are doing it for is followers, likes, comments. And I shouldn't be saying that. I'm a hypocrite. We're in the beginning. Share, like, comment, subscribe.
Hey, that's how you get the word out.
You got to get the word out. We're trying to get more people watching, but it shouldn't be about... It shouldn't be about the amount of people that are appreciating it. It should be about you just working your hardest and putting out there the work. And if people like it, they'll like it. And if people don't, feel like you're going to get criticized either way.
It's what we're getting from it, too. I mean, we're meeting Lee. We've met some really cool people from the podcast. So
I mean,
it's about us, too.
I mean, just like my time here is like, you know, like my whole life I've been working on something to try to share it with people, and I get to come onto this podcast and experience like your guys, what you guys have done, and share something.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I sit at home and try to come up with video projects and different things by myself, and it's like to come onto this, it's like sweet. I just show up and
collaboration. Yeah. Well, and it's not just that, it's also documenting we were here at this point in this crazy lifetime. We're here, and this will forever be on YouTube. Yeah. So for people in the future,
unless YouTube somehow
demonetization.
Yeah. Well, and I think that we talked about that with Chant too. I think YouTube is on a downward spiral right now. There has to be some kind of new platform, some kind of new way to share videos, because people just aren't watching YouTube like they used to.
It's still
I think maybe it's not people watching. I think it's more people aren't making money like they used to off YouTube. If you're planning on doing this as a career, it's not a good time to get into it right now with the advertisers that pulled out and stuff like that. It's tough to make money.
I watch a channel called Video Creators, and he talks about you can download, I think, his ebook, and he really talks about value exchange. So not like relying on YouTube to get paid, but trying to create trying to create something that you can exchange that value. So basically get paid.
Yeah, it's like a sponsorship, or what would it be?
I haven't looked into it too much.
Video creators. So his goal is to help people get further faster with videos, right? So maybe he creates something. I don't know, like a PDF or something like that. Yeah. I know he has an ebook, but he gives that out for free. Yep.
So it'd be something maybe a little bit higher than an ebook, where you've gotten his ebook, you've read through his stuff, you really believe in the guy, so then you purchase something else. Just
getting things out there to get some form of income in or whatever. Is that kind of what it is? Interesting. Well, Dalton, why don't you pull up the article? I have this is kind of relating back to teens and stuff. It's the summer one. This is an article I was reading today on NPR about summer jobs are no longer an attraction. It's about teens. This is something that everyone could have a different opinion on. It has its positives and negatives. Teens aren't working during the summer like they used to. The article pretty much just says that teen jobs during the summer are at an all-time low. They're very low right now. 35.1% of teens are not in the labor force right now. And it says because they are doing other things like camp and just working on the side hustles and stuff like that. Part of me is wondering if that's really true. I don't know if they're at home playing video games.
Yeah, that's what I think.
I don't know if this article is actually looking at it from the right perspective. Maybe they are going to camps and starting their own lawn mowing business. I don't know. What do you think, Mason? You think it's kids playing video games at home or what?
I think there's a big majority that do that, yeah, but I don't know.
Hard to say.
It is hard to say.
It was an interesting article to me, though, because I'm sure if you got somebody on here who was like 45 years old, kids these days are so lazy and all this and that, and you're kind of, they kind of are. And you don't really know the whole story behind a lot of this, because who knows where the stats came from? Who knows, what's really going on? But you can definitely tell that nowadays there is not a sense of laziness, but not a sense of get out there and do it for kids our age. It's just a lot of like sit back and enjoy life, whatever. But there's not like when is the stuff going to get done that's going to end up leading on to the next step of your life? That's what I'm kind of curious about.
Just get everything handed to you.
Yeah, get everything handed to you. That's a huge problem.
Yeah, that's a lot of
people our
age.
A
lot of people these days
don't have to work for your money or work for your stuff. Such a skill that if more parents would have their kids do it, that it would change how they are and how they look at things in the future. Where if they're going to go to college and their parents are going to pay for everything for the next who knows how many years of their life until they turn 25, then their parents are like, all right, you got to start buying your own stuff. And they're like, well, I have no idea how to work, Yeah, right. And there was one other thing that I wanted to bring up. I was watching a video with Peter Schiff or something like that. He is a investor on Wall Street. And he's part of the 1%. He did this, it was a while ago, 5 years ago. He went on Wall Street and he was arguing with all these people. He said, I'm part of the 1%. I want to change your mind about how you think about us and everything. And he was talking about kids our age who just, I'm trying to remember where I was going with it, the point. I had somewhere I was going with it. Peter Schiff, he was talking about kids our age Jeez. Totally forgot where I was going with it. We're trying to think about.
I'll add some fill in there.
Yeah.
I think there are a lot of kids that are our age. I guess we have kind of a wide spectrum here.
Yeah,
Not super wide.
bit.
There are a lot of them out there that are hustling, and a lot of them out there that are lazy. You know.
Yeah.
I don't think you should underestimate our age group at all. Like, I think when we put our minds to something, I think we have very open minds and we have a lot of resources, a lot more than our parents did.
Just coming up with different ways to do stuff, or
different opportunities. Like if you're starting a t-shirt company, like outsourcing it. Like back, 20 years ago, you probably had to, call. Like you probably had to go through so much more just to find someone to make your shirts.
I remember what the point was. He was talking about teens at our age who are making minimum wage, and then they grow up and they keep working that minimum wage job and they expect to get more. But he said there is no level of productivity there that is worth more than the minimum wage, where you should be developing skills. His point was people our age are not developing skills that will get you farther in life. They're working at these lower minimum wage jobs, which is no issue at all when you're younger, but you should be working towards skills that in the future will be able to support a family and be able to have enough money where you don't have to rely off a minimum wage job, because that was never meant to support a family. So right now is the perfect time in our life where we should be experimenting with stuff, finding what our passions are, and then utilizing that so that in the future we don't have to depend off, a fry cook job or whatever it might be. Yeah. So that we have the skills that are necessary so that we can fit into the workforce, which is becoming extremely competitive now with all the jobs. And that was the point that he was trying to make, that this is the perfect time to be developing skills. And I don't know if that's really what's going on. I don't know. Hard to say.
I'd say that's definitely what you're doing right now.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying. I mean, I just don't want to talk about myself, but I'm trying to do different things.
I gotta learn about you.
Yeah. We'll do that. After the podcast.
Yeah. Well, I guess the point is, I try to do different things and I try to work on skills, video stuff related, specifically, but it isn't just for that. I know people in my grade that are starting businesses like a lawn care service. I have a kid in my grade who's doing that. Does a really good job, has a lot of clients. And Devin Nielsen. He's doing lawn care, and I know that he wants to, I think he wants to get into, what's it called? Landscaping. He wants to get into landscaping. He's developing all those skills now at a young age. When he's done with college, I think he's going for business. He can jump right in and have the clients and the people. That's what more people need to be doing, and that's why, we try to talk about that on here, but to really push that point that if you want something, just go out there and get it. There's an opportunity. Build that energy up, because that's a big part of it too. Build the energy up, and that positive energy will, I think, have huge effects on people. If more people would actually go for that and make things happen, I feel like there'd be some crazy stuff going on in this world, and not so much negative, because all you hear nowadays is negative stuff. Yeah. What's the next negative thing going to happen when there could be so much more positive stuff going on?
Yeah. You never hear about positive stuff.
You never hear about positive stuff.
Don't say that.
I should say never. It's a majority negative stuff, it seems like to me. Because more people want to hear about tragedy and crazy things that are happening. People don't want to hear about.
It gets the masses going.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I feel like as human beings, we're drawn to these crazy things that happen, or if it's a school shooting, or if it's someone like that thing that the other article, Dalton, I have about that girl who got kidnapped in Iowa. I don't know if you guys heard about this. There's a girl in Brooklyn, Iowa. Molly Tibbetts. This is all over Twitter. It's all over Facebook, Instagram, about this girl that went missing. It's great that they're really reaching out. Like hundreds of thousands of people are sharing this online. They still haven't found this girl.
They haven't?
They haven't found this girl, and she just went missing from a small town in Iowa. This is all over the place, and this is just one of those things. It's not a good event, but they're using social media here to try to figure out where she is. This might be kind of a bad example because it's actually a positive thing to try to help her. But it's kind of the same thing that people like to hear. Not like to, but I think as humans we're drawn to hearing these negative things, and we want to see what crazy things are going to happen. And
I mean, like my mom posted on Facebook or something, like a spider that's becoming, I don't think it's an issue, but I think there's just been some cases that happen in Minnesota where it's a poisonous spider.
Oh, I did
Really?
see something like that.
Right?
Yeah.
So my mom posts something, tags me in it, and like I can just tell like it's something that she's like freaked out, right?
Yeah.
So I immediately start looking into this spider, learning its tendencies and stuff like that,
Oh no.
and then posting an article underneath where it's like, okay, this spider, it tends to be in these locations here,
Yep.
like so you can at least educate yourself about it.
Oh yeah.
So like my girlfriend Emily, she brought that up. I was talking to her last night.
Oh, so you have heard about this?
Yeah, I have heard about that, and like my responsibility immediately takes ownership and is like, I gotta solve this problem. So I immediately start like watching TED Talks on like sex trafficking.
Oh wow.
Start listening to podcasts, just to learn about it, just to try to figure out what it looks like, and if there's anything that I can do, because I don't think anyone really knows what it looks like.
No one knows, and who knows how this is going to end. I really hope it ends well.
Maybe
Well, they're using Fitbit data.
sometimes like people just want to disappear off the radar to get away from things.
Yeah, but this is a very strange case. It didn't seem like that at all. It seemed like a kidnapping.
Did you read that though? They're using Fitbit data to
to try to figure out where she went. So
that's a good thing about technologies.
I'm not trying to go on here and be like, but technology is evil.
We need technology for this podcast.
Oh, we need technology. I'm just saying there's a lot of negative things that come on the side, and it affects your mental. It's good to take a break once in a while from this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But then you look at something like this, and it's actually a positive thing. All the people retweeting on Twitter, all the people sharing on Facebook, the tracking her with the Fitbit. There are positives with it. It's a lot of negatives that could affect your mind and your whole mindset on life.
Well,
you got to be careful.
You look at like the U.S. like level of energy. In levels of energy, he talks about he's giving a presentation, and he walks in and he can just tell he was going to give a business presentation, right? And the business is like level 200, 300, or from 200 to 300 to 400 level, right? And he walks in and he sees these people. They're not really dressed business. They're kind of like casual, kind of ragtag, and like slouching around and stuff. So he's like, okay, if I give a 200 to 300 level speech here, it's not going to resonate with them. So he brought his speech down in levels and started getting people talk. A lot of people don't know to go up in energy. Sometimes you have to go through anger. So it's okay to get angry. Just don't do any bad things. Right? So he started talking to these people about the stuff that gets them angry. Started getting them talking about the stuff that gets them angry, and you could feel the energy. He said you could feel the energy starting to rise.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
So I think a lot of the stuff that shares really well in like the United States and the world kind of goes with the level of energy of the world.
Yeah, that's crazy. And I want to look more into that. And I think if anyone's more interested, check out the book. You don't know who it's by? Just Levels of Energy. We'll figure it. You can check it out quick. It is interesting because it's something that you don't hear people talk about. And I feel like it should be talked more about because it's something that is such in the back of our heads. We don't realize it's going on, but it's there. And it could change, like we've been talking about, everything that's going on around us, from human interaction to developing relationships to all different kinds of things.
Frederick Dodson.
Check it out, people. Levels of Energy. We're running out of time here, but it has been an awesome conversation with Lee. Thank you so much for coming on, Lee. It's been great.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
This has been a really good conversation, and I have a ton of things I'm going to check out. I know after this, and everyone should check out the things too, and also check out your YouTube channel and the clothing line. I'll put the links to those in the description. And it's just been a great time here. We will be giving out something next week. I'm not sure what it is. Just make sure you share, comment, like, and subscribe. You know we're hungry for them likes, like we've been talking about. So thanks, everyone, for watching and tuning in. This has been another episode of the Ethan Clerc Podcast Show. We will be back next week, and thanks for watching.